Hey, I was going to record a traditional draft on Arena. It's a best of 3 format. So you can see my picks. I'll go through them, say why I pick them, and you can agree or disagree and say what you would have done. Alright, pack 1, Glass of the Guild Pact, Frenzied Arynx, and Orzhov Enforcer. Those are all really good. I really want to try Glass of the Guild Pact. There's a couple reasons on this card. If you're going Orzhov and you have Afterlife tokens, it can buff your tokens a lot. I've actually been in, because the tokens are black-white spirits. They are dual colored. I've been in games where I've had Ethereal Absolution resolve, and my opponent had a Glass of the Guild Pact, and it kind of stopped all my tokens from doing anything. At the same time, Orzhov Enforcer is really good. Frenzied Arynx is also a card that you just always get, and that's an instant punished because there is a Basilica Bellhaunt here, and that's really the best pick at this point. Blade Juggler is good. Gate Colossus is good, but I don't play gates. And Final Payment is also good, but I'm gonna go for Basilica Bellhaunt. And now here's a Frilled Mystic. Frilled Mystic is great. It's one of my favorite things to draft is a Simic. At the same time, there's Imperious Oligarch here, which fits right in with Basilica Bellhaunt. This is a card that you just get as many as you can get. And I'm going to follow that route. Here we got a Skewer the Critics. Really great. Dead Rebels is also a really good card in Orzhov. I'd consider staple as a one-of main board, but it's more likely to wheel. So I'm gonna get thinking about Skewer the Critics and Mardu. I really do like Mardu a lot. So here we got a Plague White, but big pick here is Syndicate Messenger for this pack at least. Twilight Panther is a great one drop that you want at least 3 of when you're playing Orzhov, but then once again it's much more likely to wheel than a Syndicate Messenger, because this is essentially your only 4 drop in Orzhov unless you're lucky enough to get Basilica Bellhaunt. So right there we got a Twilight Panther, and I'm gonna grab it. Another Twilight Panther. I'll grab it. So Cry the Canarium, you'd think that would be a good, amazing pick, but it honestly just exiles everything you have. So it's not really that great in draft because of the exile portion of it. If it didn't exile, then it would definitely be good. So I'm going to take Rakdos Gate or Mardu. Here, either a Trumpeter or an Undercity's Embrace. Undercity's Embrace is good if you can get a lot of early game tempo going and force them to lose everything they have on the board, essentially. I like Justicar's Portal here. The ETB with Basilica Bellhaunt is really good. And here's a good card right here for Mardu. Carnage. Rakdos Roustabout is definitely a good pick. But I really feel like I want a Blade Brand if it doesn't wheel, because I've been through drafts where Blade Brand honestly doesn't wheel. Because this card with Daggercaster, it's quite amazing. It just wipes their whole entire board. As soon as Daggercaster ETBs, hold full control in response to the trigger on the stack, apply Blade Brand. Basically a 6 mana Wrath of God on all your opponent's creatures. Here there's nothing much. I'll take Deface for the sideboard to kill Gate Colossuses. That, and if someone is playing a lot of Resolute Watchdogs, and I get a lot of Imperial Skull Oligarchs, they can sort of come up the board. Pick the third Panther. Recto's Strasbout. So here the best card is the Oligarch. It's really not a good pack. It's really good if you were playing Azorius. Look at the Oligarch. And there's a Tithe Taker. Yeah. Not much to say about that. It's just a Tithe Taker. Get the point. One of the other better reasons to be Mardu. Definitely gonna get that. Fireblade Artist versus Acrobat. Oh my goodness. Ooh. That is really, really tough. I really like Acrobat. I really like this card. Good. It's really easy to get the spectacle cost off with Twilight Panther. So here, I think I'm going to take the gate. Since this is going into pack 2.5 or 1.5, and there's no fixing yet. Outside of that, there are a few good picks here. There's Watchdog, which I don't like in Mardu or Orzhov because you have Twilight Panthers. 10th District Veteran can be good in decks that don't have Imperious Oligarch. Carrion Imp is really solid 4-drop. But Light Fiend, I enjoy this card better if you have a Hero of the Precinct 1. And Scorchmark is a good sideboard card. Alright. So this looks like the pack to get Dead Revels in. Although I have had games where Neither Last Breath goes really late. And he does work. Take gate. There's been so many Goblin Gatherings, my goodness. Unreal. Let me get Knight of Sorrows here. There's nothing much and don't have 5-drop yet. This last pack's a little bit tricky. I want to consign to the pit or a Rubblebelt Recluse. Rubblebelt Recluse is a house. This card just doesn't care. Although I could use some Vamps. Vamp is essentially your 3-drop. Okay. Gonna get this house. Sentinel's Mark. This card is amazing. It's an amazing trick, and it's also an amazing thing to just put on something and gain a lot of life that turn. Put it on Rubblebelt Recluse. Fireblade Artist. Oh my gosh. I don't know how this wheels. It's really hard to play on turn 2. We got a lot of turn 2 plays that are really hard to manage. But it's just a really good card. Footlight Fiend. Another Blade Brand. This is not always bad to take another one. For the sideboard, the reasoning being it's really good versus Gruul. You put it on just a stupid creature and kill one of their huge drops. So many Goblin Gatherings. My goodness. Oh my god, there we go. Okay, so number one rule about drafting RNA, you can be Azorius, you can be Simic, you can be mono blue. And you see this card and you pick it. That's all there is to it. And right here, there's a Consecrate Consume. Nutty card. Cult Guildmage or Blade Juggler. This is a really hard choice. Blade Juggler really helps thin out the deck right now, and it helps me draw to Ethereal Absolution. Cult Guildmage is really good. I really don't think I'm going to be having a situation where I need to make them discard though with this deck. I feel like I'm going to be putting enough pressure onto them to not care about that. So I'm going to play Juggler. So here there's Summary Judgment, which is a really good spot removal card. It can kill these guys with 1/1 counters. So I'm gonna get Summary Judgment. I think Rakdos Guildgate for my final piece of fixing is good here. So this is another good card to have for the sideboard. Good versus Ethereal Absolution, good versus High Alert. Those two enchantments that are really annoying. It's also very good versus Gate Colossuses. Just the same way Deface is. But it's never a main board card. So here there's an Orzhov Racketeers. I like him. I don't mind him. He's a pretty cool guy. He just walks people with sticks and puts them on their face. My only other 5-drop is a Knight of Sorrows, and that's in a Rebel Belt, and that's pretty much my top end. I'm not too worried about smoothing out in terms of my 3-drops here, because Blade Juggler is a 3-drop. And I'm going to be having plenty of turns where I can play a 2-drop into a Twilight Panther, as well as a hard cast Skewer the Critics. So I don't think this deck's really ham enough for Act of the Treason. I don't think it's that ham. So Consign to the Pit is good. It's just you die. Okay, just a quick check on my gates. I've got 2 of each, that's sufficient. So there's options in sideboard with Deface and Undercity Scavenger. I like Undercity Scavenger here. Okay. I'm a big fan of this dude. The guy from Terminator, just walking through the prison. He's a really good win con, just sacking spirits to him or something. And with Dead Revels, you can get a lot of these small creatures back to sack to him. He's an instant win if you have Gutter Bones, because you sack Gutter Bones to him every turn and then attack and get Gutter Bones back to your hand. So we have a Carrion Imp here, which is probably the pick. Yeah. Okay, I like Deface and the side right now. Let's get a quick creature count to see if about this roustabout. Don't have, we only have 2 cards that are spectacle, because he is essentially a spectacle enabler. I'm not too interested in Storm Strike. I don't really, it's actually not that bad of a pick here, because our 2 drops, the 2 1s, there are a lot of 1 3s in the format that people will use to when they're playing high alert, and they can really mess up your board. But I do have a Skewer the Critics to clean through those, and Carnival to finish them. And I'm not really too worried about blowing out the opponent because I have Ethereal Absolution. Whenever you have this card in your deck, it's just tower defense until you get to draw this. So I'm gonna get Deface. Because believe it or not, there are very much so gate decks. And those gate colossuses will blow you out. The consume is very good versus them, but if it's a gate deck that also has Gatebreaker Rams, this can hit the Gatebreaker Ram. So we're gonna fix this real quick. This is more of a Rakdos beatdown card. $18.11, good, good. So Justicar's Portal loses a lot of its initial value because you only have 1 creature to really gain total use of it. It is a good trick. So there needs to be 5 cuts. Carnival is going to be a sideboard card here. I'm not too worried about that discard effect. I don't think. Not in this situation. Robobout Recluse is not making the cut because of Ethereal Absolution. If Ethereal Absolution was not in the deck, it would for certain be in the main board here. So, let's see. Bladebrand is not making the main board since there is no Daggercaster. I don't think Bloodmist Infiltrator needs to be here because not going for a very quick win. I just want to throw creatures away and get them back. I want to keep Undercity Scavenger because he helps scry towards their Absolution. Probably consign to the pit. Keep our top end a little low and get the point is the same thing. So all in all, I think this is the best possible main board. Unless we had drafted all the Goblin Gatherings, then they would all be in here. So yeah, those are the creatures. So this draft went from a first pick Frenzied Arynx, not getting Orzhov Enforcer or Glass of Guild Pact into Mardu. I think it was a pretty good call to take that Silica Bellhaunt, and that's a lot of the reason why, in my opinion, in first pack, just pick the most valuable cards. Don't try to form a guild. Don't try to form a deck, anything like that. Just get the most valuable cards and then transition straight into what your deck has the best of currently going into the second pack and filling out everything else at that. So I think this went pretty well. It is 16-7 on the creature non-creature count, which is very healthy. And I'd like to see this deck go 5-0.